Since Juan Soto turned down a 15-year, $440 million contract from the Nationals, the trade market for him has begun heating up. Various reports have the St. Louis Cardinals, New York Yankees, New York Mets, and others as possible frontrunners. Right now, any team that has a chance to make the playoffs in 2022 should be looking to empty the cupboards to add Soto to their team. The biggest reason for this is that he's really young. Juan Soto is in his age 24 season. If you can get a long-term deal in place, you will have arguably 6 to 8 seasons of Soto in his absolute prime. This isn't just a guy who torched Triple-A pitching and is untested in the majors. This isn't just a guy with one good season under his belt. This is a player who is currently 23 years old and is well on his way to having his fourth consecutive solid season. That's pretty much unheard of in the MLB by his age. To give you an idea of how impressive this is, here are some of the comparable players through their age 24 season. Here is a list of MLB players through their age 24 season by Fangraphs WAR. Barry Bonds is slightly ahead of Juan Soto, who is ahead of Mookie Betts, Ronald Acuna Jr., and fairly far ahead of Vladimir Guerrero Sr., a Hall of Famer. When we look at slugging percentage, we see that he is just behind Hank Aaron and Ken Griffey Jr. He's tied with Stan Musial, and he's actually ahead of Bryce Harper at the moment. When we look at on-base percentage, we see that Soto is ahead of Hall of Famers like Albert Pujols, Ricky Henderson, and future Hall of Famers like Miguel Cabrera and Mike Trout. Another reason teams should be trying to acquire Soto is that prospects are always hit and miss. Even if some of the prospects you trade end up being really good players, it's unlikely that any of them will end up being better than Soto has already been. A player who can perform now is more valuable than a player who might perform at some time in the future. The general public tends to vastly overvalue top prospects, forgetting that the road to success is paved with the careers of countless busts. Here are some examples. First up, Barbaro Canizares, who was signed out of Cuba as a 26-year-old where he consistently hit for a high average and on-base percent. Canizares won a batting title in the International League in 2010, hitting .341, and finished his baseball career in MLB with only 21 plate appearances. David Cooper hit .364 in the Pacific Coast League in 2011 to win the batting title. He finished his career with the 72 games played. In 2012, Jose Costanza won a batting title in the International League, hitting .314. He finished his MLB career with 112 games played. 2013, Dean Anna hit .331 in the PCL to win the batting title. He played only 13 games with 26 plate appearances to show for it. In 2015, Matt Haig hit .338 for tops in the International League, 43 games played at the Major League level. 2016, Hernan Iribarren hit .327 in the International League. He'd retire with 48 MLB games played. As you can see, you can do really well in Triple-A and still not pan out. We see it every year. So, when you have a chance to give up a handful of high upside guys to get a guy who's already in the conversation as a top 10 MLB player, what are you waiting for?